Hello. I guess I'll just get this started. So, I have been interacting with Lorcana since it was announced, and one of my favorite things from the early days was that a lot of different creators made videos about what characters or cards they'd like to see in the game. So I was thinking, since this is the first video that is not an upload we upload of a commercial, why don't we instead do characters I don't think will show up? So, this is a movie that's nostalgic to me. Muzz Needs Moms, nobody else but me probably watched it, and those who did probably didn't like it. It was one of their Disney stop motion ventures that did not pan out super well critically or commercially. So, for my personal nostalgia, I would like to see these characters. However, few people know about them. Few people care about them. And, you'll see in a second, they don't look the best. So yeah, this is the main character, Milo. And coming up here in one sec, this is Key. This is Gwibble, and the robot is Two-Cat. And this is Wingnut. As you can see, they are not the most appealing to look at. However, since Lorcana uses own art, we could just draw them better. So, Dumbo, I've always just thought was an okay movie, but ever since I was a kid, my favorite scene was the scene with the crows. Being that I was like 5 when I first watched this, I did not know about the crows and what the crows were based on. So even though to this day I still like that scene with the crows, I think it's fair to say that we most likely will not see them. Especially, I don't know the rest of their names, but the main one smokes a cigar and is named Jim Crow. So, yeah. So, we know Pocahontas is coming. We know that. I'm not saying Pocahontas is not going to be in it. We've seen one piece of art already. This is not about the character of Pocahontas. It's about a character from Pocahontas and a song from Pocahontas. John Smith. Do I need to say more about John Smith? If you need more information, in the second movie, he appears for like 2 seconds, while another guy whose name I don't remember is the main love interest of that movie, for reasons you can probably figure out. And then, Savages. So, quick personal opinion. A lot of people say Hellfire is the best villain song in Disney. No, they're wrong. This is it. This song is better as a villain song. However, yeah, you can't really just maybe in another game, but in Lorcana, yeah, you can't just really just put a name on a card and say Savages. That's not gonna go well. So, but again, my personal favorite villain song, and it has amazing animation that they could use to make art for the cards. So, how do we get around this problem of not being able to call the song by its name? Well, we've seen before that they've used the lyrics from songs as the name of cards before, instead of the actual names, either because they didn't want to, it was named like the blank song, so that would make a great name, or they used it already. For example, a boss is on a roll from Poor Unfortunate Souls, I believe. So, instead, here are my suggestions, if we can get to it. Yes, okay, it's coming up. Here are my suggestions for what we should call it, what the Waves Vigor team should call it instead. So one lyric from the song is "Drums of War." So as long as if they're not okay with putting war in the thing, this would be a bad idea. But if they are okay with using the word war, I think this is the best name they could go with. But let's say they don't want to use the word war for obvious reasons. I have another suggestion that will come up in a second. There it is. This will be the day, which is another line from the song. This is where you could use that name, and then you don't have to say savages or war. So, problem solved, and you get to depict the best villain song in all of Disney, in my opinion. So, Mulan. San Yu, the villain of Mulan. Why do I think he won't appear? He might. He honestly might. This is the one I'm least sure about. However, Mulan has been in the game since chapter 1, since the first chapter. And in 8 sets, we have not seen the main villain of Mulan. Now, to be fair, we just saw Musou in Acacia's Island. And we have seen we have seen other Mulan characters get introduced in the last couple of sets. So he could still appear. I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying it's been 8 sets and we have not seen hair or tail of him. Even though we have seen the villains of basically, I think, most, if not all, the other movies that have been introduced into the game. So, that's basically it for this one. This was not professionally well done, but first try, so, okay, this is it. Goodbye.